Welcome back to the Genius Multi channel. I've been asked often why we don't do videos on platinum and palladium as much as we do gold and silver. Well, one of the reasons is I do not own any platinum or palladium. Now, that doesn't mean I don't like them or I'm somehow opposed to the owning of these two platinum group metals. I do like them. I've had friends that have owned them, bought them, and sold them, and dabbled and played in that realm, in that marketplace. And I have nothing against it. I think they're great. They're rare, and we're going to talk about them now. So here is that video, platinum and palladium. Now, why am I making the video all of a sudden? Well, it's in the news, and I've been seeing the prices rise. We've been looking at them lately. I mentioned one of them in a previous video this week. We saw that I believe the only metal up on the boards that was in the green at the time was palladium. Now, Sal over at Salivate Metals just covered this story, did a video on palladium shooting past platinum, and here we see the news. Palladium hit price parity for the first time in 16 years. Well, this morning, palladium is past platinum by about $16. And I'll throw that up on the board right now so you guys can see it. All right, there's a screen grab from about 5 seconds ago. You can see all the metals are in the red except for palladium. Now, what's happening with palladium? We're going to talk about that. It's up at $934.10, up $6.25 this morning. And platinum's down $4.60, hanging at $916.40. Gold, silver, and copper also all down this morning. But this video is about the PGMs, the platinum group metals. So let's take a look at them. All right, London palladium hit price parity with its better known sister metal platinum on Wednesday for the first time since 2001, as demand expectations for the two assets diverged. Both are primarily consumed by automakers for catalytic converter manufacturing, but platinum is more heavily used in the diesel vehicles that have fallen out of favor since 2015's Volkswagen emissions rigging scandal. Palladium, in contrast, has benefited from a switch to petrol engines and expectations for growth in hybrid electric vehicles, which tend to be gasoline powered. So that makes sense, kind of a change in demand and where the metals are going in vehicles, a lot of vehicle demand, and that has always been one of the driving forces behind the energy of these metals. You know, back when the economic crisis hit and vehicle sales plummeted, we saw the price of these platinum group metals collapse. But here's a point in this article that I really want to raise, and that is this quote here. And this, my friends, is why I would tread lightly and proceed with caution towards the platinum group metals. Now listen here. Palladium has the wind in its sails from investor interest, and there has been a good amount of speculative activity holding it up and keeping market conditions tight, he added. Physical demand in Greater China has been very strong this year. Okay, speculative demand, speculative bubble. These are when you get a lot of investors in that aren't really into metals and they're just kind of doing it because it's the in thing. That's when I start to get a little cautious, especially with metals like this. Spot palladium was at $919.50 an ounce, up 0.6%, while platinum was down 0.3% at $917 an ounce. Palladium prices have risen 35% this year against a 2% increase in platinum. So palladium's just doing awesome. So there's obviously some factors that are taking place to drive it in that direction. Let's take a moment to peruse some other articles that are out there. I pulled up some old stuff that's been archived. You know, these are articles that are from out a couple of years ago that are on the topic of these metals. So we read here that two much rarer metals often fly under the radar, platinum and its close cousin palladium. Platinum is much rarer than both gold and silver. So rare, in fact, that all the platinum ever mined could fit into your living room. And palladium is even rarer than that. Now you'll see there is what they're talking about there is supply available, not the concentration of the metals in the crust. Because I do believe we'll see numbers later on that show us gold is actually rarer as far as its availability and its presence in crust than I believe platinum. And we'll look at those numbers in a moment. You can see what I'm talking about. Palladium is even rarer than platinum. Now, this is a point that I have seen contradicted in other places, but this article is saying that it's rarer than platinum and certainly less talked about. But it may be due for a breakout year in 2015. Shows you how old this article is. Palladium has been slowly replacing platinum as a lower cost material for catalytic converters for the past 2 decades, since it can basically perform the same function as platinum at half the cost. The fact that there is a very strong possibility that automakers will dump platinum for palladium is reason enough to buy the metal. The last time this happened, palladium went to the moon, according to Annuity IQ. Palladium recently hit a 14-year high and is now around 775. All right, let's take a closer look at these metals, this family metals. Here's platinum, chemical element platinum. And I was trying to think, and I've actually owned a platinum coin once. I owned a 1/10 ounce, I believe, of platinum a long time ago. I no longer have it. But here's a couple platinum coins. There's a lot of different ones out there, generic bullion and actual minted bullion coins from established government mints, as you see here with this beautiful Canadian maple leaf platinum coin. Big shout out to the Visual Capitalist, one of the best sites for these types of visuals. I don't know what we would do without them. So here we have an image of the above ground supply, I believe this is, of all of these metals here. So while gold and platinum are almost equally as rare, the amount of platinum mined through history is a tiny fraction. So yeah, that's the above ground supply, or all the metals ever mined of each one you see there respectively. So that's gold 20 meters on each side, silver 52 meter cube, and then platinum 7.2 meter cube. As all of you know, I've been into precious metals since I was a child. And when I was little, people used to talk about, and guys at the coin shops, that all the platinum ever mined back then would actually fit, not weight-wise, of course the truck couldn't hold it, but it would fit into the bed of a pickup truck. You could take a cube of platinum and just drop it into the bed of a common pickup truck, and that was all the platinum that had been mined up until that point. And I'm sure they have been really gobbling that stuff up the last 3 or 4 decades and increasing the above ground supply of platinum. Okay, here is the presence of these metals in the Earth's crust. So platinum is extremely rare, has a concentration of only 0.005 parts per million. That's parts per million in the Earth's crust. Now, in comparison, silver is 0.075 parts per million, and gold is 0.004 parts per million in the Earth's crust. So you can see there, based on this chart or this graphic from the Visual Capitalist, gold is slightly rarer than platinum when it comes to its presence in the Earth's crust. Here's some science of platinum. Density. Platinum has a higher density than both gold and silver. Platinum is more ductile than gold, silver, and copper. It's the least reactive metal and has legendary resistance to wear, tarnish, and corrosion. It's more malleable than all metals except for gold and silver. Its melting point, 1,786 degrees Celsius. Historically, interesting, the first metallurgists regarded platinum to be extremely inconsistent. And metallurgy, some samples were extremely malleable, others were brittle, some were incombustible, and some would volatilize. These inconsistent reactions were due to impurities in the platinum group metals occurring naturally in platinum, which were discovered later. Another look at the world supply of platinum being far less than gold and silver. It's 1/100th the supply of silver, 1/10th of the supply of gold. The world supply of platinum in 2012 was 5.84 million ounces. We talked a little bit about where it goes. So look here. It says 8% goes to investment, 33% into the auto industry, 31% jewelry, 28% industrial. So I kind of include industrial with auto as far as economic demand based on society, and that's a pretty heavy percentage there. There's strong platinum demand, which is expected to continue due to the auto catalyst demand from the BRIC countries. So as vehicle sales pick up and other countries purchase vehicles, manufacture vehicles, we'll see an increased demand in the platinum group metals for the catalytic converters and such. And here's another graphic looking at what these metals are used for, platinum and palladium. You can see here that they're primarily used in production of catalytic converters with strong demand for use in China and India. Platinum's the lighter blue there, and palladium represented by the gray bar. So automotive, 71%. Look at that for palladium. Increased palladium loading per vehicle due to more stringent emissions standards. Jewelry, palladium's got 6%. Not a whole lot of use for palladium in jewelry, but it is there. It does have a presence. Industrial, 29% for palladium, 19% for platinum. And then investment, down there on the bottom. This source is from about 2011, and it looks like back then investment represented 6% for platinum and negative 6% for palladium. So there wasn't a huge investor presence. We can see that that paradigm has shifted today just based on recent headlines and the prices of these two metals. Chemical use, 6% for platinum, and I did not get the palladium mark there on this chart. But so palladium's got a pretty strong presence. You can see it there in the automotive industry. But there is some speculative investment taking place now, and I'm sure that as that fervor picks up, we will see an increase in volatility with the price of the metal. I mean, it could probably do some jumping around at this point. Taking a closer look at palladium, it's a chemical element with the symbol Pd, the atomic number 46. It is a rare and lustrous silvery white metal discovered in 1803 by William Hyde Wollaston. He named it after the asteroid Pallas, which was itself named after the epithet of the Greek goddess Athena, acquired by her when she slew Pallas. Palladium, platinum, rhodium, ruthenium, iridium, and osmium form a group of elements referred to as the platinum group metals, PGMs. These have similar chemical properties, but palladium has the lowest melting point and is the least dense of them. More than half the supply of palladium and its congener, platinum, is used in catalytic converters, which convert as much as 90% of the harmful gases in automobile exhaust, hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, and nitrogen dioxide, into less noxious substances, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. Palladium is also used in electronics, dentistry, medicine, hydrogen purification, chemical applications, groundwater treatment, and jewelry. Palladium is a key component of fuel cells, which react hydrogen with oxygen to produce electricity, heat, and water. Ore deposits of palladium and other platinum group metals are rare. The most extensive deposits have been found in the Norite belt of the Bushveld igneous complex, covering the Transvaal Basin in South Africa, the Stillwater complex in Montana, and the Sudbury Basin and Thunder Bay District of Ontario, Canada, and the Norilsk complex in Russia. Recycling is also a source, mostly from scrapped catalytic converters. The numerous applications and limited supply sources result in considerable investment interest. 2013 article from Zero Hedge visualizing platinum and palladium's place in the world. The platinum group of metals have received some perhaps unwarranted attention in recent weeks as the coin idiocy came and went, but it is noteworthy, as Eric Sprott points out, that with demand rising and supply under pressure, the outlook for investment in physical platinum and palladium is increasingly compelling. The following infographic and various supply and demand dynamics provides a succinct picture of what these metals are used for, where they are produced, and the supply-demand imbalances. We already touched on a lot of that, so we're not going to use those infographics here. Supply. Platinum group metals have a high supply risk. In the British Geological Survey's Risk List 2012, the platinum group of metals, PGMs, of which platinum and palladium are widely viewed as the most significant, received a high supply risk index based on the list's 7 criteria: scarcity in the Earth's crust, production concentration, location of principal producers, and contribution to global supply, reserve distribution, global distribution of reserves, recycling rate, substitutability, governance, top producing nation, and governance, top reserve hosting nation. I do have a theory on this. So here, production is highly concentrated in only 2 countries. Unlike many other metals that are found in numerous regions, the majority of platinum and palladium is concentrated in South Africa and Russia, which combined to account for 88% of platinum production and 80% of palladium production in 2011. With rising tensions between the United States and Russia, there's obviously trade disruptions. There's been some sanctions and a lot of negative talk on both sides. So I could see with that relationship kind of on the rocks right now, causing an issue with the exchange of currencies and metals and just normal trade behavior. Dwindling stockpiles of palladium in Russia are nearing depletion and may not be able to offset declines in mine production. Russia is the largest source of palladium through both mining and state sales of stockpiles. However, the supply of the metal from existing stockpiles is projected to drop 68% in 2012 and is expected to account for just 3% of global supply. Additionally, mining supply is projected to drop by approximately 4% in 2012, and active mines in the Norilsk region of Russia are showing declining grades of ore extracted, which suggest that production levels at these mines have peaked. Wow, this would have been a valuable article to read for anybody who was considering investing in the platinum group metals back in 2011 and 12. Well, thanks for being part of the Junior Small P channel today. Hopefully you guys got a kick out of this discussion on the PGMs, the platinum group metals. And take a look here at some of these palladium coins. There's a lot of palladium coins and bullion rounds and bars options out there from around the world. And here you can see the 2017 palladium coin struck by the United States Mint. I love the reverse of that coin. Not too fond of the obverse. But good luck with your PGMs and proceed with caution. The one thing to consider is if we do come upon an economic contraction and this bull market constricts a little bit and we see a drop off in vehicle sales, we will see a drop in demand for the platinum group metals, and therefore the price will retreat. So I think right now what we are seeing is a definite high in the platinum group metals valuations. And when it comes to my choices personally with precious metals allocations, if I have 900 or $1,000 on me, it's going to go towards gold, most likely. That's just me. That's just my opinion. Years ago when gold rocketed past platinum, it made sense to me at that point. And I do foresee a retreat in these silver-colored platinum group metals going into the future, especially with a decrease in automotive sales. I would believe would occur at some point in the next 4 or 5 years. Again, I'm no expert, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a humble blue-collar dude that likes to look at and talk about these types of things. So, best of luck to all of you, and thank you for participating in this Junior Small P conversation and broadcast. Have a good day.